Southbound driving quotas for Guangdong cars entering Hong Kong urban areas are nearly exhausted on the first day. The hospital authority introduces a 3-tier fee system for pathology tests starting January the 1st. And U.S. President Donald Trump unveils new class of heavily armed battleships named after himself. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Jeremy Zhu. The first batch of Guangdong cars eligible for driving into Hong Kong's urban areas began entering the city under the Southbound travel scheme. Nearly all of the 100 quotas were snapped up on the first day of operation. Evelyn Bai reports.
Starting at midnight, drivers from Guangdong drove across the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge and completed clearance procedures at a border checkpoint. These mainland vehicles display special license plates with FT. Travelers may stay for up to 3 days. This driver said he felt more at ease behind the wheel and that he plans to visit frequently. Under the Southbound Travel for Guangdong Vehicles scheme, successful applicants who want to drive into the city's urban areas are required to obtain approval letters and confirm the bookings in advance, with 100 quotas per day. Secretary for Transport and Logistics Mabel Chen held a smooth operation on the first day, as the quota was nearly exhausted. She said the authorities will continue to monitor the situation so that the visiting left-hand drive vehicles and the community can adapt gradually. To support the new scheme, CRP Power has set up 24-hour charging facilities at Penny's Bay on Lantau Island. The vehicles can be 60% charged in 10 minutes. The transport chief said the HKE Mobility page provides information on parking and charging facilities across the city, clearly showing which locations offer Guobiao Tuijian standard chargers for mainland vehicles. Meanwhile, the transport department is working with hotels and malls to set up more national standard chargers. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
2 days after opening to traffic, the Yau Ma Tei section of the Central Kowloon bypass has recorded over 100,000 trips so far. Transport officials said they have put up more signs after some vehicles were spotted changing lanes at the last minute as they exited the new road. Jamie Liu has more.
On the section's first full working day, there seemed to be hiccups at its 4-lane exit to Kai Tak and Kowloon Bay, as some vehicles switched lanes at the last minute, with a car crossing 2 lanes at once. On a radio program, Assistant Transport Commissioner Leung Sai-ho said signs had been set up 500 and 100 meters away from the diverging point, giving drivers enough time to select their routes in advance. If drivers miss their exit, they should follow the road signs, and that it would not take too long to find another way to their destination, he added. Leung also warned motorists not to make U-turns on a highway after a taxi was spotted driving on the wrong side of the road. He said police are looking into the case and stressed that road safety should be drivers' #1 priority. Another hiccup saw vehicles mistakenly use the bus-only lane. Leung said as drivers get used to the new road, there will be fewer incidents like this. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
In new public healthcare fee standards to be implemented on January the 1st, pathology services that are currently free will move to a 3-tier charging system. Intermediate and advanced items will require patient co-payment ranging from $50 to $200, while 90% of the tests will remain free. Starting January the 1st, common blood tests, urine, sputum, and other basic tests carried out at specialist outpatient clinics and family medicine clinics will remain free. Intermediate items, which cover more complex blood tests, such as endocrine examinations, will cost $50. Advanced items, including genetic sequencing tests, will be charged at $200. The hospital authority has stated that pathology services for patients during hospital stays or in accident and emergency departments will remain entirely free. The fee adjustment is not expected to affect most patients, officials added, as free basic items such as tests for the three highs, hypertension, hyperglycemia, and hyperlipidemia, as well as diabetes and liver and kidney function, while $200 high-end items only account for less than 1%. The authority says the new charges are reasonable and believes they will not deter patients from undergoing necessary tests. Patients facing genuine financial hardship can apply for a fee waiver. Those already booked for pathology tests next year will receive payment notifications through the HAGO mobile application or via posted paper bills starting from January the 1st. The independent committee investigating the fire at Wangfu Court in Taipo has visited the site of the disaster. Chairman David Locke, along with members Chen King-por and Rex Aoyun, were briefed by personnel on the scene. The briefing included the cause of the blaze, the building's fire safety installations, materials used in maintenance works, and construction safety measures. Accompanied by staff wearing white protective suits, the committee then carried out an on-site inspection of the affected areas. The group spent around 3 hours at Wangfu Court before departing by car. The committee has begun its work to determine the cause of the fire and any related systemic issues. It must complete its investigation within 9 months and submit a report to the chief executive. U.S. President Donald Trump announced plans to build a new generation of battleships known as Trump-class as part of an expanded Golden Fleet aimed at cementing American naval dominance. Jamie Liu tells us more.
According to Trump, the project will begin with construction of 2 battleships and eventually be expanded to 20 to 25 new vessels to replace an old and tired and obsolete U.S. fleet.
These are the best in the world. They'll be the fastest, the biggest, and by far 100 times more powerful than any battleship ever built. We're calling it the Golden Fleet, and we're building for the United States Navy. As you know, we're desperately in need of ships.
The president said he would take an active role in designing the ships, the first of which will be named the USS Defiant. It will be at least 250 meters long, with a displacement of 30,000 to 40,000 tons, and can carry between 650 and 850 sailors. It will be equipped with hypersonic weapons, electric railguns, nuclear-armed cruise missiles, and lasers, and controlled by artificial intelligence. Reports said the construction is expected to begin in the early 2030s. Trump said the ships would help maintain the U.S. military supremacy, revive the shipbuilding sector, and deter enemies, but were not meant to counter China.
We get along great with China. I have a great relationship with President Xi, and not China. It's just everybody. You don't know who comes along, but we just wanted peace through strength. Hopefully we never have to use them.
During World War II, the largest battleships owned by the U.S. were the 60,000-ton Iowa class. After the war, their role in modern fleets diminished in favor of aircraft carriers and long-range missiles. By 1990s, all 4 Iowa-class ships were decommissioned. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
A draft Pentagon report claimed China has likely loaded over 100 intercontinental ballistic missiles in its latest 3 silo fields and has no interest in arms control talks, cited by Reuters. In Beijing, the Foreign Ministry disputed the report, calling it U.S. hype. Evelyn Bai has the story.
The report said that China had likely put in more than 100 solid-fueled DF-31 ICBMs in silo fields close to its border with Mongolia, according to Reuters. The draft added that Beijing's stockpile of nuclear warheads is still expanding, projected to exceed 1,000 warheads by 2030 from last year's low 600s. According to the report, although U.S. President Donald Trump last month proposed a denuclearization plan with China and Russia, Beijing did not appear to be interested. The Pentagon declined to comment. In Beijing, Foreign Ministry spokesman Lin Zhen said such hype by the U.S. side is its usual tactic, aimed at finding excuses for accelerating the modernization of its own nuclear forces and undermining global strategic stability. The international community should have a clear understanding of this. China has maintained a defensive nuclear strategy, kept its nuclear strength at a minimum level required by national security, Lin noted. He added that China has been actively participating in the review process of the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons and maintains dialogue with all parties on issues related to nuclear arms control. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
Amid the devastating war, Ukrainian children expressed hope for peace in letters to Santa Claus, while Father Christmas encouraged people to help those in need. Every year, Santa Claus Post Office in Finnish Lapland receives hundreds of thousands of letters from children detailing their Christmas wishes. This winter, letters from Ukrainian youngsters have extra poignancy.
I am 6 years old and my sister is 2.5. We used to live in Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, but now because of war, we live in Western Ukraine. Please give peace to Ukraine. We love our country very much.
In the war-torn city of Kharkiv, Ukrainian kids eagerly await their presents from the volunteer group, which received over 2,300 letters this year. Meanwhile, Santa Claus and his elves were ready for another epic gift-giving trip around the world.
I bring some gifts, of course, but Christmas is not about the gifts. Christmas is in your mind and in your heart, in your soul. That's Christmas. And it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. Christmas is there and it's going to be there this year, next year, whatever happens.
The jolly man also shared his own Christmas wish.
I wish that people could listen to other people, look around if somebody needs some help. At the moment in the world there's lots of people without home, without place to go, without place to live, without place to sleep. So if you can see someone who needs help, please help.
The Japanese yen strengthens versus its group of 10 currency peers on Tuesday, fueled by Japan's finance chief's comments that the nation has a free hand in handling the currency's recent sharp depreciation. Evelyn Bai reports.
Even though the Bank of Japan raised benchmark interest rates last Friday, Japanese yen continued to decline. The downward trend ended when Japanese Finance Minister Satsuki Katayama said in an interview that Japan has free hand for bold action if needed.
Foreign exchange markets don't move only on interest rates or rate differentials. Especially toward the end of the year, around Christmas, trading tends to get thin, and many factors can drive the yen's moves. But the yen's sharp, very short-term movement right as the BOJ governor began his press conference last Friday, that was clearly not in line with fundamentals, but rather speculative. Against such moves, we have made clear that we will take bold action, as stated in the Japan-U.S. finance minister's joint statement.
The yen rose to around 156 per US dollar on Tuesday, picking up from last Friday's 157.78. Katayama also pointed out that Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi's government's shift to a proactive fiscal policy to boost the economy may deteriorate Japan's financial performance. However, she expects the overall economy to improve in the next year or two as investments and tax revenue increase. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended the day down 27 points. Top active stocks of the day, Tencent was down $12.50. Alibaba was up 80 cents. China Mobile was down 85 cents and Ping An was up 70 cents. Foreign exchange against the Hong Kong dollar, Japanese yen 49.88, Australian dollar 5.20. Onto the weather now. Becoming cloudy, the minimum temperature will be about 19 degrees tomorrow morning. Warm with sunny periods during the day. The maximum temperature will be around 24 degrees in the urban areas and a couple of degrees higher in the New Territories. Winds will turn to northerlies with the weather becoming cool on Christmas Day. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. That's our news tonight. I'm Jeremy Zhu. Thanks for watching and good night.